Hello everyone and welcome back to KilowattAuto. About a month ago, Tesla announced that it would be expanding the full self-driving beta and it would be identifying eligible beta testers via a safety score based on their driving telemetry. So naturally, as soon as this was made available, I signed up as I've been eagerly awaiting to join the FSD beta. And today I want to share my experience with you, as well as expand upon some thoughts that this new safety score goes well beyond FSD and has some rather large implications beyond even Tesla. Once I alerted Tesla in the autopilot menu that I want to be considered for the FSD beta, the safety score then appeared in the menu in the Tesla app and began tracking my driving. And it consists of 5 safety factors, which include forward collision warnings per 1,000 miles, hard braking, aggressive turning, unsafe following, and forced autopilot disengagements. On their website, they go into very thorough detail for each factor and give a pretty good breakdown with formulas on how the safety score is calculated. And they also take this one step further and give factor-specific tips on how to improve your safety score. And the aggregate safety score is a mileage weighted average and is the value that is displayed on the main screen of the safety score menu in the Tesla app. So as it stands right now, I am currently sitting at a score of 98 based on my current data set, which runs from September 25th to October 23rd. And I have a total of 1,565 miles accumulated in this time period. And looking at my metrics, you can see that my 2 areas of opportunity are forward collision warnings and unsafe following. And these two go hand in hand somewhat, and since tracking began, I have expanded my typical following distance, especially at higher speeds. However, as I expand my following distance, other traffic tends to move around me and move into the cushion I have for myself up front, which will count negatively towards my following distance score. With this experience, it's probably a good time to talk about some of the limitations I've noticed while using the safety score and how circumstances outside of driver control can sometimes have a negative impact. And in general, I would say that the safety score is a 95% reflection of my personal driving habits and about a 5% reflection of driving environment. And over this past month, my data set has included my typical commute in suburban Western Pennsylvania, as well as 2 road trips to New Jersey and New York City, the latter of which contains an abundance of highly aggressive drivers and non-existent following distances. And per Tesla's description, unsafe following is only measured at speeds over 50 miles per hour. And what I found is that while driving on the highway with more aggressive motorists, I would leave a large following distance that would almost instantly be filled by someone swerving through lanes to beat traffic. And as soon as someone entered that cushion, my following distance score would be negatively impacted. And one thing to note is per Tesla, quote, driving on autopilot, including 3 seconds after autopilot is disengaged, will not be factored into the safety score formula, but the miles driven while on autopilot are included in the total, end quote. So with this in mind, I try to use autopilot as much as possible in these situations to limit the negative impact on my safety score in the New York metro area. So with all of this said, the current safety score setup does obtain a fairly accurate analysis of both driving habits and driving environment. And this is where things start to get exciting because while the score has mainly gotten headlines as a gatekeeper to the FSD beta, it is also going to be used as a part of Tesla insurance, which is now available in California and expanding to Texas. TechCrunch reported that, quote, so far Tesla has gathered over 100 million miles of driving data, analysis of which showed that the probability of a collision for a customer using a safety score versus someone who is not using the safety score is 30% lower, according to Zachary Kirkhorn, Chief Financial Officer of Tesla, end quote. 30% lower. I'm going to let that sink in for a moment because that is some pretty powerful data. So just by knowing Tesla is tracking driver telemetry, motorist behavior has been positively influenced to the tune of being 30% less likely to get in a collision than a Tesla vehicle not using a safety score. So for right now, that means simply by offering the option to see a safety score, 150,000 vehicles, which is the current number of vehicles in the FSD beta enrollment program, are being driven safer. And what happens when this expands further to anyone looking to buy Tesla insurance? You can see how the implications of this data set start to rapidly expand as Tesla is able to develop a collision prediction model and tailor that to vehicle-specific premiums, which is incidentally exactly what they intend to do. Quote, "As the data set continues to grow, we continue to experiment with new variables. And from that model being able to predict the frequency of collisions, we can then align that against a price curve. This allows Tesla to offer individualized pricing that's integrated into the car, integrated into the app, integrated into the customer's experience, complete with a feedback loop that communicates to the driver what driving adjustments need to be made to decrease the probability of a collision after every drive." End quote. If Tesla can deliver on this, they will be disrupting yet another industry. Personally, I pay a ridiculous amount of money each year for my car insurance because traditional insurers do not understand how to evaluate and develop a premium for a Tesla. This new model would offer me significant cost savings, and as soon as it's available in my home state, I will definitely be terminating my policy with Allstate. And taking a look at this screenshot from a Tesla owner in Texas, you can see that the monthly premium can change quite a bit as the safety score improves. Now, we can't see many details about what type of coverage this offers, but assuming it's a fairly standard policy, I would be paying 1/3 for Tesla insurance versus what I'm paying now on an annual basis. And with these changes, Tesla would effectively be monetizing safe driving simply by providing drivers with a safety score, and all while they continue to innovate the safest cars in the world. For those of you who have been around the block with me on this channel, you know I don't buy into the hype, and I try to keep an even tone when talking about the Tesla experience. I do my best to give you the good and the bad, but I can honestly say that this has me really excited. It speaks to the underlying theme that despite their shortcomings, the Tesla experience is vastly different in a positive way than traditional vehicle ownership. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, when you buy a Tesla, you're buying an experience. And right now, we're just beginning to see the incredibly positive impact that giving drivers a safety score can have on that user experience and the implications of this for safety for all drivers on the road. If you'd like to hear more about some of the positive experiences I've had with Tesla, check out this video on a recent service experience I had with them. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch today, and I'll talk to you soon.